it's just, making others happy, doing, to appease someone else. That it is that to me. But to me, people pleasing, I believe, is something that can be passed on from mother to daughter, because for me, it was passed on from mother to daughter. And I thought it was quote unquote normal to just follow a pattern. I was raised that way.
Oh, yeah, that's insightful, because to your point, I'm used to hearing it in the frame of you're just trying to please people, you're trying to do whatever they want you to do, but not really going to, okay, where did you get that from? What did that come from? Why did you start doing that? Yes. And so what you're saying is, when you searched, you discovered that's how you were raised. And right. So to you, it was the norm. It was normal. And so tell me about how you, without sharing too much about what you put in the book, because we want people to get the book.
Yes. Yes.
But, what made you raise that awareness in your mind that that's what happened for you?
During the time that Cheryl posed the book to me, I was in a time of reflection where I was digging deeper as Coach Confidence, pulling things out of other women. And I realized that God posed the question to me is, why are you the way that you are? And I was like, because, well, I just am. And I started digging deep into it. And I realized that I was only pleasing people because I wanted them to like me. When you're faced with being Coach Confidence, nobody wants to know that Coach Confidence suffered from low self-esteem, deep depression, the things. I grew up with a mother that didn't want me and a father that didn't want me. My dad told me he didn't want me. So here I am at 6 years old from that time, trying to get people to like me because my dad didn't want me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I get it.
And then having a mother, instead of my mom mothering me, I'm a mama and I have 3 daughters and I am mama hen up in here. But my mom didn't mother me. She had my sister when she was 14. So instead of my mom nurturing me, she wanted to be me. She was living through me. So here I am wanting people to like me because my parents don't necessarily like me.
Gotcha.
And I felt like if they liked me, then I'm pleasing them. And I would get the love that I'm searching for. So it was that reflection that said, no, sister, that's people pleasing. That's wanting something from people that you're not trying to get just because. You're trying to get it because you think if they love me or if they like me, then everything will be better. It'll heal the broken pieces. Not true.
Yes. Wow. Very good. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. I think there's a lot of us at different, to your point, and as Cheryl has identified, many of us have at least some period in our lives where we have gone through being people pleasers. I know, particularly if you suffer from low self-esteem, because I had that was a large part of my life, large part of being in bad relationships, yes. Feeling like that I had to just deal with whatever because I wasn't worthy of anything else. And if I just deal with this, then at least, he'll stay around,
Yeah. You just don't even get on that topic. Jump back. That is my chapter. Get back out of there.
So yeah, but I praise God because it's only through God that I have been delivered from that and have healed from that and have been able to find within myself what God has invested in me and is nurturing in me. And I see it every day in women like you and Cheryl and others who have, I think, a true mark of healing. And healing is a process. And I get that we are bold enough to start sharing the story of where we were and where God has brought us to, because it will be a blessing for someone else. I truly believe that. So tell me, Coach Confidence, what else do you have going on? What's next for Coach Confidence?
Right now, my mentor is Erica Michelle, and God has used that woman to push and pull and prod every talent, gift, or nugget that he has put in me out. And she is excellent at her job.
Oh, wow.
But right now, I am working on my first solo book. I've done co-authored two anthologies now, and I'm working on my first solo project. So that is coming.
Excellent.
But what's happening right now in the now is the locker room with Coach Confidence. It is a Facebook group that I have, and the only reason that group exists is because I don't care if you post, I don't care if you like, I don't care if you share. I'm not in it for any of that. I need women, and there are a few men in that group, to come into the locker room. And what goes in the locker room stays in the locker room. So I want them to have a place of safety. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But just come in and get that nugget, that little nugget of motivation, of confidence for you to believe in yourself. Every day, it's I open it up with a normal topic, like most groups. But every day it's themed. So every day of the week, it's a different theme. And it is not a theme where like Monday's Motivational Monday. It's not gonna stay that. If God says Monday we're going to talk about confidence and being motivated, then I'll talk about that all day long. If Tuesday he says we're going to talk about self-esteem issues and being confident, we're going to talk about that on Tuesday. It's whatever at that time God lays on my heart to give. It's what I give 7 days a week. And it's the locker room with Coach Confidence. That's on Facebook. I do have a page, Coach Confidence, but that page is just my page. It's not the locker room. The locker room is the meat and potatoes. Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time, we have the coach's couch. That's when we sit down and break bread. It is the Facebook Live. We sit down and break bread. We sit down and we talk about those things you don't want to talk about. And what God has done, and I'm going to forgive him for this. What he has done is he has taken my personal life. I've always been a transparent person in this realm. He has taken personal things, and I don't get into details. I don't label people, places, or things in these. But every Thursday when it's time to do the coach's couch, I kid you not, if I don't start going through the topic that he gave me on Sunday, I'm like, why am I going through this? This doesn't make any sense. I feel like I am most sensitive when I am going through or have been through and it affected me in a profound way. That's when I'm truly giving whatever I have. I'm pouring out, overflow, whatever you want to call it. That is the time that the coach's couch, it's that place, that intimate time where people can see that I too am human, and people can see that, you know what, the coach is being sensitive, not just sensitive, but it's not as a coach, put it this way, as a cheer coach, it's my job to pull everything that I possibly could out of those cheerleaders, all gifts and talents, everything. And to teach them what it is to be unified as a team. Well, as Coach Confidence, it is my job as a coach in that locker room to pull out every gift, every talent, all the confidence that I can possibly pull out of each person that comes across that page or that whatever. And that coach's couch is that time to do that time to say, hey, you may have fallen, but nobody said you couldn't get back up. Don't listen to he, she, them, they, it. God said he would love you until the end of time. He'll even love you in eternity. So I need you to get up. Right. And it might take you 5 days. It might take you 6 months. But the point is, get up, live in the moment, not day to day, the moment. Some moments take 10 minutes. Some take 6 months. But I need you to get up. And if I have to coach you the entire time, if I have to push you, prod you, lay down in that pit and get dirty with you, if we have to get bloody together, we will, because you will get to the other side. God willing, we are going to make it to the other side. You have somebody. Your coach has your back. And that's what the coach's couch is. And so the locker room is just the shell. And I feel like the coach's couch is the meat and potatoes of that group. Just dig in there and get it all out. I get so passionate about this thing.
I see. Something just came to my mind that I wanted to ask the question to you. I am thankful that God has called me into this space as well. And I see so many strong women, particularly in this space. And I truly believe it is part of the season to address a need. And so, particularly in the African American community, we have a lot of battles, and we haven't been transparent with each other to say, I am hurting, I am wounded, I feel like I'm amounting to nothing right now. And so I truly believe that God is raising up us women who are willing to just open ourselves up and say, I get it. I understand this has happened to me and I want to help you. And not only that, but using the vehicles that we have available to us today so that, to your point, I could be in my home watching you. You don't have to see my face, but I can hear you and I can let it penetrate into my spirit. And I feel like that's part of what God is doing by saying, hey, I'm calling you because the need is large. I'm calling an army, really. I feel like it every time I turn around, there's a whole new group of us that I haven't even met before. It's like he's raising up an army to say, my daughters need me. My sons, they have a need, and I'm going to show them how to support each other.
That's it.
Have you experienced it? Have you had that thought, that insight?
Yes, ma'am. And the more we talk, knowing that we don't know each other personally,
right?
It's like a kindred spirit there. I've known her all my life. I just met you. I feel like, and not only is he raising up an army, he's raising up the most radical women.
Yes.
The ones that were counted out. The
yes.
ones that nobody wanted. The misfits are the ones that he's saying, rise up. I want you to rise up in this hour. And I think that he's calling us because we know what it is to lay flat in dirt.
Yeah.
We know what it is to lay there. We know what it is to have nothing. We know what it is to be stripped. And I don't mean like, people say, oh, just stripped. No, I'm talking about blind Bartimaeus stripped. You are just naked. And at this point, you're unashamed because you're like, hey, Jesus, hey,
yes.
okay, hey. And we have to be that way. And he's calling us because because we don't think the prostitute we don't think if we go talk to her that prostitution's going to rub off on us.
Right.
We don't think that if we talk to the broke single mama that all of a sudden we're going to have 25 kids because.
Yes, exactly.
And we're just not afraid because when we see them, we see a soul.
Yes.
We see a person. We see life. And we want her to get to where we are, to make her stronger so she can go pull other women out. So, yes.
Yeah. So the other side of that, and I'm sure you've experienced, is that when you do this, when we're doing what God is calling us to do, there are some who are left uncomfortable.
That's right.
They're like, wait a minute. One, you've moved out of the place that you're supposed to be in because you're broken. You're supposed to be broken. You're supposed to stay over there in the corner or the back of the room on the floor. Secondly, you're making them uncomfortable because you're being authentic and transparent. And some people have lived their lives wearing the mask. And the last thing they want to do is to be in a room with someone who's peeling theirs off.
That's right.
Because they're afraid that, one, their mask will be pointed out, and two, the expectation will be, or the temptation, and they're just not comfortable with that. Right. So they set up environments where you're like, what's going on? What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? It's like, I'm just doing what God called me to do. I told somebody the other day, if you have a problem with me, you have to talk to my manager. And they were like, well, who's your manager? I said, the man upstairs.
Yes. Yes. So please. Put your complaint in the box.
Right.
I can help you.
Let me know how that conversation goes.
Text me. Let me know. Yes.